Que tal quando terminar de ouvir seu podcast, assistir ao filme do ano? Barbie já está disponível na HBO Max para você ver quantas vezes quiser, de onde quiser. Bom, que a HBO Max é o lugar onde você encontra as maiores estreias do cinema, você já sabe. Mas a melhor parte, talvez você ainda não saiba. Você não paga nada a mais por isso. Dá para acreditar? Barbie e muitos outros sucessos de bilheteria você assiste na HBO Max.
Okay, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss show. I have realized, because I've done multiple takes, and I think I know the problem, my TV is a little bit distracting, so what I'm going to do before I get into today's episode, y'all are hearing some wrestling noises right now. It's me trying to find the HDMI port to my TV because I am going to turn my Xbox on, find my remote for my TV, which I have found, and turn this Xbox on and then just have it where it's on the main menu, so I won't be getting distracted. It's the most annoying thing when I get distracted and stuff. Then I'm having to do multiple takes, and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna get distracted. This is gonna be the last take for the night for this episode, because I tried doing it in so many different ways. This was I switched the episode twice. So what the episode is going to be now, that was the original idea, white people acting black. But then I switched it and was violence is sometimes the answer. But I'm no, let me switch it back. Let me have the original idea. I might have it where it's just all blended in together and things. And because there's just a few choice of words that I would like to say and stuff. So anyways, but no. White people acting black. What's up with that? And I don't know whether it's a thing where they're oh, well, I don't want to act white, and then black people don't accept me and stuff. Look, I'm going to say this right now. Black people, especially corny white people, if they're cool with you, if they can vibe with you, they're not going to judge you. But if they can't vibe with you, and then you're over here trying to act like a black person and things, but I'm not that's the thing though, because when I see that, that one person is not acting like a collective of people. You're not acting like the whole race. You're acting like the one person that you've seen that you can mock. And therefore you're oh, well, if I act like them and then go up around a bunch of black people, they're going to accept me? No, they're going to look at you like you're crazy. They are seriously going to look at you like you are crazy. So that's why I'm please stop. Please stop. And another thing, I don't know why white people assume that they can have an N-word pass. They can say the N-word whenever they feel like it. No, you can't. I don't care who gave you a pass. You don't have no pass. If you can't, and this is how I just break this whole thing down, because nobody has a legitimate, I don't see the response that I'm looking for, and therefore I'm that's no. If you can't do these things, then you don't have any passes whatsoever. You have a white person pass, which is your race. If you're white, Asian, I don't care what race you are, that's your pass. But you do not have a black pass. But anyways, if you can't go to black areas in the world, you can't go to Compton. I feel like Compton, Atlanta, maybe some places in Florida, maybe some places in New York, areas where there's a lot of black people. If you can't go to those areas, get into a crowd of black people, gather up a one big crowd of black people, and say the N-word, then you don't have no passes. You have no passes whatsoever. And then because I put that to the test so many times. I put it to the test so many times. Both ways. Because the first time, well, it was this, so this black guy was just being really racist to white people online and stuff. And I remember I was just all like, bro, if you can't go up to a white person's face and say the things that you're saying on video, then therefore these videos is just, there's no reason for them. They're pointless. But it wasn't I think this happened last year. But so this, a random hater, he sent me like a collection of tweets. But I remember one of the tweets, he called me a monkey. So I was like, bro, that's racist. Like, I don't know if you understand that, but that's racist. He was trying to say he was joking. He came up with all these excuses on why he called me a monkey, but I'm like, bro, that's not a joke. That's not a joke at all. Like, how many joking videos have you seen where a white person goes up to a black person and they call them a monkey or the N-word? You don't see that. You don't see that at all. And if you do, what was that black person's reaction? Because that will be the reaction every time when you... Because I'm like, if it's something that you can't say to a person's face, then you shouldn't be saying it online. I know people were like, oh, it's the internet, it's this and that, blah, blah, blah. A person can say whatever. No, that's why I'm like, if the stuff that I say on videos or in my podcast, this is everything. This, like, even this particular topic right now, I have talked about it out in public with everyone. Black, white, Asian. I'm like, this is it. I talk about stuff that I could feel comfortable talking about, like, out in public and things. That's why people, when they watch my videos, when they hear my podcast, they say it's some of the most realest stuff ever, because it is something where I'm like, if I see you out in public and you bring this up, I will have no problems talking about it all over again. So this particular episode, if somebody were to come up to me about like, oh yeah, that episode you like talking about white people acting black, like, I don't care who I'm around, I will talk about this episode in front of anybody. Why? Because that is who I am. I did not come into this world to talk about stuff online or talk about stuff like privately and then can't talk about it like publicly. No, like, I gotta talk about everything publicly. So that's why I'm like, that's why people, if you see me, I post a lot. I post a lot. And will not stop no time soon. So, but anyway, so the guy, he called me a monkey. And I told him numerous times, I'm like, bro, go over to like, I was like, go like to like a really, really black area in New York, and you call like, and record yourself calling black people a monkey. He never did it. All he just did was sit in the comfort of his own home, probably at his computer, doing whatever, okay? And he just felt like he had to call me a monkey and stuff. So I'm like, that's why I was just all like, man, like, just solve all of that, like, please. Like, if you feel like, because that's, and then there's like, that's why I'm like, I really just, like, don't like about the haters that I have to deal with and stuff. Like, they just assume, like, because of who I am on the internet, they just get a pass with, like, anything racist. Like, no, you do not. This is stuff, like, it's funny because I would have to say, of course, like, I'm not going to go my whole life without having, like, not at least one black friend. But I bet if I was surrounded by a bunch of black people and one of my haters had seen me, do you think they would talk about anything? Or say any of the racist stuff that they've said online? Do you think they would say that out in public if they seen me surrounded by black people? If I was standing in a crowd, like right in the middle, right dead center in the middle of that crowd, and they seen me, and they didn't call me the N-word numerous times, talking about they got all these passes and all that stuff, do you think they would say yes or no? And I just can't wait for this. Like, when I upload this on YouTube, people are going to probably be commenting like, oh, I would. In a heartbeat, I would. I know I can. I know I can do stuff like that. Okay, then record yourself doing it. You stand into it. You stand. I don't care if you know what? It doesn't even have to be. You just go out in public. You go to your downtown area, okay? Go out in public where there's a crowd, where there's a lot of people, and you say the N-word. If people ain't looking, there's because and it's like, the funny thing is that I say that, and I'm sitting here thinking like black people are gonna have a crazy reaction. No, white people will have a crazy reaction too. And it's like, it didn't even like really daunt me. I'm over here thinking like black people will trip about this. No, white people, because it was funny. There was a friend of mine. I asked him, I was just like, how would you? I was like, what would be your reaction if we were hanging out and somebody had called me the N word? Because I'm like, racism doesn't get to me. So that's why I'm like, when people be all like, oh, I get passes and this and that and stuff. I'm like, okay, well, it's not going to get to me, but go to like some like hood like area and stuff, and like go to places like go to like Atlanta. Like, as a matter of fact, go to like Deontay Wilder and call him the N-word. See how far that gets you and stuff. But anyways, I asked my friend, I was just all like, how would you feel if somebody like had called me the N-word? What would be your response? What would be your reaction? And he was like, he said he would get heated. He would get upset and go off on that person. I'm like, whoa, wait a second, wow. I was just like, this is something I was just like, wasn't even expecting. I was just like, I think, because I thought he was just gonna like probably say like he's gonna look at me and see what I was gonna do, but no, he was just like, he said he would go off on that person. So that's why I'm like, wow. Like, no, white people, they'll equally get mad about that stuff too. So it's like white, black, probably a white person, they're gonna be looking at you like you're a weirdo and stuff, but I feel like a black person, their reaction would be better. So if you want like a better reaction than calling somebody the N-word, please go up to a black person and do it. Please do so. I would love to see it. I would love to see it. But yeah, I'm like, it's like white people, but it's getting back on the topic though, like white people acting black and things, like it's just silly. And it was like, because no, there's this TV show, and don't ask me why I was watching this show. Look, MTV wasn't showing anything else. There was nothing else on TV. This was a show that I think my mom and sister, I think my sister liked it, but there's this TV show called Girlfriends. And there's an episode on there where this white girl, she was acting black. For no reason whatsoever, was just acting black. Why? I don't know. But anyways, so she, at the end of the episode, had said the N-word. Black Friends was furious because she was like, because that was that whole show. It was like a black cast and stuff. So anyways, so she said like there was like some party. There was a lot of black people there. She said the N-word, and her friend pulled her aside and was all like, yo, like, you can't do that. You can't say that and things. Like, there's so much history behind that word. And I think that's what a lot of people just don't know. Like, the history and the suffering and the torture behind that word. That's why, like, a lot of black people, when they see a black person or a white person acting white, wait a minute. Okay, when they see a white person acting black, there we go. Okay, I was like, I didn't know what I was saying. But anyways, but no, when they see a white person acting black and then they say the N-word, like, they have a crazy reaction to it because they know the history. They know what their ancestors had to deal with. They know. So it's like when you, and it's like you can't feel comfortable. And that's the thing when they're all like, oh, I got black friends, so I'm okay. Like, no, you're not okay. It's either you don't have black friends or your black friends are scared of saying something because they probably think you're a psychopathic murderer that will kill them if they did say anything about it. So it's either that's one of two things. You have no black friends where you can't just go up to them and say that, or you're a psychopathic murderer and your black friends are scared of you. So that's why I'm like, and either way, that's still, they're not your friends and stuff. So that's why I'm like, I just can't, I don't know. I just can't hear it with like white people trying to explain to me why they can act black, why they can say black things, why they can do black things. No, you can't. No, you cannot. Is watch that with like, no, because there's that scene, and there's another scene, there's this movie. Oh, you're getting Instagram notifications, and I don't even care about them. But anyways, there was the movie Gran Torino, Clint Eastwood. And there was that scene in there where that white guy was acting like black, and those like black guys was just like going off on him, like making fun of him and stuff, because it's funny. That stuff where it's like you have no choice but to make fun of that person. You seriously do. And that's why I'm all like, no, like if it lead like, that's why I'm like, I don't condone like any sort of behavior where you're discouraging a person. But if they're like not even being themselves, you gotta discourage their character. You gotta discourage the character that they are, so they have no choice but to be themselves. So that's why I'm like, if you gotta act violent towards this character, bully this character, do whatever it possibly you can to bring this character out of this person and allow this person to be themselves. Because I'm like, that, to me, that's just energy consuming. I'm like, nah, you consuming way too much energy trying to be somebody that you're not. So that's why I'm like, no, do whatever it takes. I feel like that's why I'm like, and then if they're still like, oh, I'm gonna act black, I'm gonna say the N-word, do all these other things, then that's why I was like, I think I was like talking about it a little bit in the beginning. I'm like, violence is sometimes the answer. Just so you can put fear in their eyes and they're like, I will never act like this again. Like, no, I've changed your heart. I'm done. I'm sorry. Like, I'll never do this again. Because, like, it's funny to me where it's like, that's it. Like, that's the final straw. Like, that's what it does to convince them, like, I can't act like this anymore. Like, I have to change. Like, I have to stop. And they just all like, nope, like, but it's like, I mean, after something like that, like a violent encounterment with somebody, then it's like, yeah, then that's when they're all like, okay, I'm done. But until then, it's like, it's gonna be like some like white kids growing up thinking that they're black, saying the N-word, doing whatever they possibly can, and then like that's what I'm like, and then so you hear like some cases where it's like people be, dying over that type of stuff. Like there's probably some stories out there where a black or a white person was acting black and they messed around and got killed by some black people. Because it's like that, you don't act like that. It's like, just stop. Like, I went to school with people that act like that. I remember there was this kid I went to school with. His name was, well, should I say his name? I ain't gonna say his last name, but his first name was Aaron. Now I remember there was like one year he just randomly decided to start acting black. And I'm like, why? Like, where does this even come from? Like, bro, let's not even forget the fact that you sneezed all over this girl and it was just spit covering her. When have you ever seen a black person do that? That's why I'm like, bro, this whole character you developed over the summer, stop it. No, stop it. It's no reason for it at all. So that's why I'm like, you just stop it. Okay? Like, that's just like, you just like, I don't know. You just gotta talk to them and be like, it's not going to get you anywhere. Then there was a girl I went to school with that acted like it, and I was like, I kind of stopped talking. It was like, I don't know, like I would talk to her occasionally, but then I was just like, nah, I'm like, there's no reason for it and stuff. But there's a lot of girls I went to school that acted black, and I'm like, you're not black, stop. Like, there's no reason for it. Like, you're not living up to anything. You're not proving anything. Like, you're just looking weird right now. Like, you looking like a weirdo. So that's, I'm like, I can't get with it. I can't be with it. I can't support it. There's just nothing that I can honestly say about it besides just give it up. Like, you're not going to go get anywhere with it. So you have to give it up. Sorry, but it's the truth. It's like, what else are you supposed to do and stuff? So anyways, but yeah, I'll talk to y'all later. That was all I really had to say. I was like, I couldn't really think of anything else to talk about. Plus, I wrote it down, and this is actually episode I wrote down. This is episode I typed up in my notes on my phone and things. I was just like, nah, I want to do this and stuff. So anyways, I was just like, yeah, it's I wanted to do this episode. I wanted to talk about this. I wanted to talk about this topic, but anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're viewing this on a podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. And if you're purchasing tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss, and it will knock $20 off your first purchase. So, and that being said, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.